What I meant to say. This is a letter for you I meant to send, instead of that absurd drunken slew on New Year's Eve, expressing my love with the utmost passion, but the haze in my head got in the way. I could have told you I loved you, right then and there, but with our differences I couldn't bear to know just how you would take it while you were at the bar, ringing in another year of life and another year alone. I remember you telling me all about her, the woman that broke your heart but bore your child. I tried to express my compassion to your weary eyes, but inside of me was ecstatic and nervously shaking. You appreciated my words as you read them aloud. The room was crowded, but you knew they were for you. Every sappy line about secret love and devotion came from the romantic novel written in my head. This is me telling you I adore every single angle of your body, and me wishing I could be nestled in the part of you that is empty, feigning lost love in the passenger side seat as you turn up the Springsteen and venture back to the days when you were young and free and happy. Babe, you let your past haunt your present, and this is me with arms outreached for your taking, if only for the night. I'd subject myself to a single memory if I could just remind you that age is only but a number, and I've got 59 reasons why you're mine. So let's toss regret into the ocean and take the dive. The bets are off the table, and no longer are they safe. For the biggest mistake you ever made was to leave me, unused and ambitious, with 3 years and counting. This is me writing to tell you exactly what I think of you, but some of those words may taste too good, as they slide down your throat and wait for an answer, just like I have been waiting to do for so long. There's a fine line between innocence and insanity, and baby, we are riding it high and free. Let's make some room rather than some mistakes, and wait till the sun comes up before we give it away. I hope this letter finds you alone, and at will, to take these words and let them entangle you, just as I would hope to be around your finger, just as the sun begins to rise under passion that blinds. End of an era. Kiss the bottle until it makes you feel better. Recklessly loving on Interstate 79, with the radio just about as high as it could go, because you couldn't bear to listen to your conscience scream anymore. You're standing in the median contemplating life, while I'm wondering which of the 3 rivers your car would look good drowning in, because at this point I'm all about the vengeance. Spelling out your sins to the taps on the dashboard, as the rain started pouring truth into the potholes, you insisted on driving over to keep yourself awake, and all I wanted was to see you spin out of control. I'm the designated passenger, counting the cars as they fly by, as you search for any sort of road sign to guide your way. You always said you knew where your life was headed, until the day you found your map in pieces on the courtroom floor. By now the liquor is fumigating the seats, spreading your disease through the radiator leak. Your tires barely slide across the yellow line, but these false alarms turn to reality soon enough. You can't keep playing chicken with your lies, dodging the evidence and placing the blame on an innocent man roadside with his thumb to the sky, thinking it was 1969 and he wanted to go everywhere. You're all but free until the fumes in the car seduce you into a cohesive sleep with your lips draped over the wheel, tasting the cold sensation of defeat as I turn my head and smile, for the man in the back looks like Bob Dylan, and everything is fine. Things have changed, babe, and it's your turn to jump the gun. The role reversal in this chapter you forgot to look over, wondering which way the barrel is going to aim when it's all said and done, and I'm just here for the show. I promise that this ditch will treat you well, but please keep in touch. When I swing this car off the bridge, wagering a gamble to see where it lands. Personally, I'd like to see it sink straight to the bottom of the Ohio, because you are never as strong as the steel your fingers created. Torn pages. I used to have a sense of humor, but it fell through the holes in my pockets, worn from the years my nervous hands caressed, the inside of the fabric, in search of the right words. I could have been a magician with the tricks I made up endlessly to keep you on your toes, making love disappear inside the brim of a hat that reeked of infidelity but no remorse. I braved the worst conditions just to find the piece of Father Time I could hold on to, so that you would forever rest in my arms, finding comfort in the bare necessity I could provide. I dug a million holes in the sand to tunnel my way into the heart you held under lock and key, breathing down the necks of confidants who kept the remnants of your secrets behind their teeth. I praised the day light touched your face, for something in my bones felt the need to embrace the love that silhouettes the sheets in between private parties and company meetings. I fell hard to the sound of the loaded gun, of perceptive beauty clasped tightly in the hands of the man who took the world for granted, then woke up the next day to find he won the lottery. Personal insight. I'm a shadow behind all the chaos, watching intently, waiting for my cue, to use my sleight of hand to kiss away all the pain that keeps us awake at night. I'm bubbly and free, but the underlying layer is something not many get a chance to experience. For I am privatized and more of a sentiment people like to keep locked away as the best kept secret. I've grown to be a fool for love. The imagery just captivates me, holding on to lost loves to fuel the tip of my pen. At least it's something. I live by the lyrics of the great men and women who came before me in a simpler time, to which I fathom every night that I could have been a part of the American dream that is now lost. I suffer from a chaotic mind, never allowing me to rest my eyes, for there is always a word or thought that has something to say and must be said. I am disgruntled, and sometimes a short fuse, a ticking time bomb with witty anecdotes, hiding behind my teeth, waiting for the call to arm and protect my barely beating heart. I'm young by number, but no less a seasoned soul, with eyes that have seen their fair share of cinematic adventures one could only dream of, that makes me appreciate the air I breathe. I've got nothing to offer, only my words. They seem to make more friends than I, for they know just how to articulate themselves, so that they form charming distractions to my real self. I fear the future and stubbornly embrace my past, pulling thoughts from every distraction to fuel the ever-burning flame of eternal solitude, to which I pen up within me and stew over. I'm just a greedy-eyed word enthusiast, stealing experiences from the world around me in order to create a more perfect pastel of what life should have been in the first place. Couldn't stay away. By the time I got halfway home, I turned back, retracing the worn track marks from the tires that slid into a future neither of us could handle. Could we just call it an accident or call it a day? The streets were lit by the fireflies that crept along the side of the road altogether, something I could never understand because I was stronger than any backbone someone else could lend. I'd rather feel the carbon monoxide rise through my chest than this feeling of guilt you bring to the table after a hard day's work of deceit and malnourishing those who would rather walk through fire than with you. I kept my hand steady, though I shiver in the cold, hoping to exercise the upper hand in this scenario. Flagging down the first thing that comes my way, worn headlights are the only comfort I'm used to. Fleeing the streets, I chase traffic lights, my only three options left hanging above my head. A radical change was about to occur, until I collided with you as you wandered the town. Now I'm just as mangled as this partnership used to be, crawling away from the battle with no worry of what they'd think, for a pocket full of emotions goes farther than any change the world could ever dream of seeing, if it had the chance.